The MCU Infinity War may be over, but that doesn't mean we can't still be inspired by it. So today I'm going to show you my awesomely artsy DIY Infinity Gauntlet. On our last trip to Ikea, my husband saw the little wooden artist mannequins and hands, and he thought maybe I might want one. And I said I really don't have a need for one, but it is kind of cool that they have them and that they're pretty affordable. And he was like, you know what the little hand one makes me think of? Infinity Gauntlets. And here we are. If you're a nerdy artist like me, then this is perfect for you. It's quick, it's easy, and you end up with a hilarious conversation piece. The materials for this are cheap and pretty easy to find. I got most of mine at Walmart. You're going to want a gold metallic paint. Probably not glitter. I would stick to a metallic finish, and probably not a spray. It's just not going to work very well with all those movable joints to have a spray. I definitely felt better getting in there with a brush so I could control how much paint went where a little bit better. You're also going to want a simple, sort of medium-sized paintbrush. I would recommend not using a foam brush for this one. I feel like it's just going to soak up all your paint, and you really don't actually use a lot of paint for this project, so I wouldn't want to be wasteful. I got my infinity stones at the Walmart craft aisle. I got two different sizes of these rainbow jewels. I got one large orange one and then one smaller one each of yellow, blue, purple, green, and red. And to attach the crystals, I just used a regular craft glue. Anything that dries clear will be okay. Probably be better to use something a little sturdier than, say, like an Elmer's. The first step is painting the gold. Because of all the movable joints, you're going to have to work in stages. I would recommend flexing the hand all the way in one direction and getting down all the way into each joint, letting that dry while working maybe on one of the larger non-moving areas, then closing it and flexing it all the way in the other direction so you can get the other sides of the joints. I pretty much did one thin but even coat over the whole hand. The wood is pretty absorbent and soaked up the paint pretty well, so I didn't really feel like I needed to do a second coat. It got pretty gold and metallic without getting cheesy with just the one coat, so I was pretty happy leaving it there. Once you've painted the whole hand and moved it around to make sure that it's gold from all different angles, no matter how you end up posing it later, just let it dry. Of course, this little wooden hand is nowhere near a movie prop, which I think is kind of the charm. It's a little bit cheesy and kind of hilarious, so you have to get a little creative with your stone placement. I put each one in between one of the little carved knuckles and then just sort of eyeballed the big one into the middle of the hand. As far as the time stone on the thumb, you really had a couple options, and it kind of seemed to be on a joint in the movie one that I don't really have on this hand, so you either have the choice of moving it up or moving it down. I moved it up a little bit so it would be more in line with the other stones, but that's totally up to you. Also, since these are meant to help artists draw hands in more realistic poses, that means the back of the hand is curved, it's not perfectly flat and level. So you have to watch your purple and green stones. They might try to shift while the glue is drying, so I just sort of propped them up with items to keep them in place until they were dry enough to stay on their own. Also, you'll notice that it is of a right hand, not a left, which makes sense. Most of us are right-handed, so it's easier to be able to draw our own left hand in whatever pose we need, but it's a lot harder to get your right. Also, we've established that there is a multiverse, so maybe in my world, the Infinity Gauntlet is worn on the right. I hope you found this as amusing as I did. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.